Greetings everybody. I hope that you guys are well. Let's have a look at the platinum chart today. So I've got the monthly chart of platinum open, and the question is, what can we see by just looking at this particular chart that is of interest? So the first thing that I can see that is of interest is that we have this candle over here, which is a bearish candle with a small body and a long lower wick. So this immediately tells me that we have liquidity that is trapped in this region over here. I'm just gonna mark it so that we do not forget about it. Actually, let me make it a line and not a rectangle. There we go. What else can we tell by looking at this particular chart? Another thing that I can see is that we had an information in this region with the neckline being around here. Price came down, then went back again to retest the information. Just for illustration purposes, let me just do this quickly. So we had this neckline being there, price went down, and it went up again to retest the neckline. And as I usually say, that whenever we have a neckline that's broken, we would like ideally to see price heading back to that neckline to retest it and then coming down in this manner. Unfortunately, that's not what happened. Price actually went sideways and around this region over here, and then it went again upwards to retest the neckline. So let's continue. What else can we see by just looking at this chart? I can see that we also have this particular candlestick over here, which is a bearish candlestick with a small body and a long lower wick, which says there's liquidity here at this level as well. Another candle is here, which means we have liquidity at this level as well. So what else can we tell by looking at this particular chart? We also have this candle over here, which is a bullish candle with a small body and a long upper wick, which says to us that we have a lot of liquidity trapped at that level. I'm just going to mark it so that we don't forget about it as well. I'll also make it a different color. Yeah, I'll make it a different color. Let's see. I'll make it a yellow. There we go. All right. So what else can we see by just looking at this particular monthly chart of platinum? Another thing that I can see is that we have a very strong level of support in this region over here. As we saw price coming down, rejecting this level, it went up again, came down again to reject this level, and it did so once again at this level. So I'm just going to mark this area again so that we do not forget about it. Just mark it like this. It's a very strong level of support. There we go. Another thing that's interesting is that we seem to have an inverted head and shoulders pattern in this region. I'm just going to illustrate it quickly. We have this pattern, which is, sorry, my drawing is not that great. Let me try again. We had, let's do this. Let's see. We had the first shoulder, right? Then price came back to create the head, then went up, then came back again to create the right hand shoulder. And from this point, what we expect to happen next is for price to continue to the upside to complete the inverted head and shoulders pattern, and also fill this area of liquidity which we spoke about, as there's a lot of liquidity that's sitting at that area. So let's continue. From now, I'm going to head on over to the weekly chart. Okay, there we go. We have the weekly chart open. So what can we tell by looking at this particular weekly chart? Let's see. So far, I don't see anything of interest really on this particular chart. So I'm gonna head on over to the daily chart and see if there's anything of interest. There we go. I now have the daily chart open. Let's see. The first thing that I'm gonna do on this particular chart is actually add a channel so that we can see more or less where price is heading in the longer term. Just bear with me. There we go. I'm just gonna make it a different color. And also just remember to ensure that all your channels are as accurate as can be. There we go. There we go. Okay. So this is the daily chart. What else can we see by just looking at this particular daily chart? What else can we see? I can see that we had at this level, or in this area rather, an overextended M formation. I'm just going to illustrate it. So we had this particular pattern. We had price doing this, right, with the neckline being in that region. So right now we can see that price is actually testing the neckline of this particular M formation, right? And I'm now gonna add a neckline to that M formation. In this manner. There we go. That's the neckline. We can see that currently the neckline is being tested. I'm now going to add the Fibonacci retracement tool just to see if any of the key levels of Fibonacci align with this particular neckline, because we may start looking for selling opportunities at this point right here. However, it's not yet confirmed. What we're doing at this point is just gathering evidence as to why we may start looking for any selling opportunities in this region. So let me just add the Fibonacci tool. Let's see. There we go. So I've added the Fibonacci tool, and we can tell that the neckline of this particular M formation actually aligns with the, or rather in between the 50% and the 61.8% Fibonacci zones. So this is good. It's a good indication of the fact that price may actually turn in this region over here. However, we need to look for more reasons as to why we may start looking for selling opportunities in this region. Also, keep in mind that we have this huge structure over here. If I can just go back to the weekly chart, we have this huge structure over here, which is an inverted head and shoulders pattern. And as I said, ideally, we'd love to see price heading up all the way to this region over here where there is candle filling that needs to take place. So from here, I'm just going to head on over back to the daily chart. What else can we tell by looking at this chart? We also have in this region, we have a W formation, but it'll be more visible on the H4 chart. But if I can just do this quickly just to show you. this, and then we have the first leg. Price went up, came down, and then went up. However, we never got to see a retracement to the neckline. As I say that ideally we'd love to see price coming back to retest the neckline before actually heading up. And this is actually what we may see. We may see price coming back here and then going up again, keeping with the idea that we spoke about, which is this structure over here, which is the inverted head and shoulders pattern on the weekly chart, right? So let me continue to the daily chart. Let's see. So from here, I'm just going to head on over to the H4 chart. So there we go. We've got the H4 chart open, and as I said that this particular double formation would be more visible on the H4 chart, right? Let's see. I'm just gonna fix my okay, there's no need. Let me just leave it. Let me just fix this a bit. Okay, there we go. So I'm now gonna add my H4 channel. Let's see, how would I add an H4 channel here? Okay, I would do it this way. Apologies for the background noise. The dogs seem to be making a noise, unfortunately. So let's see. I'm just gonna make it a different color as well. There we go. All right, let me just zoom in again. As I said, guys, that we have an overextended information in this region, and price is at the neckline, and we also have the neckline being in alignment with the Fibonacci 50% and 61.8% zones. So there's a very big chance that at this point price may actually come to this region and then continue going up. So this is what we have on the H4 channel. What else can we tell by looking at this particular H4 channel? I don't see anything else that's of value at this point. So what I'm going to do now is head over to the H1 chart. Okay, there we go. So this is the H1 chart. So what do we see here? The first thing that I can see is that price seems to be in the process of creating an overextended information in this manner, with the neckline being here, right? However, it's still information. It's not yet complete. The one thing that I like about this particular information is that it's in line with the neckline of this particular M formation that's on the daily chart. So that's confluence number 2 or 3, I think, in terms of looking for selling opportunities. And that is that on this chart, which is the H1 chart, we have what seems to be an overextended M formation with the neckline. I'm just going to add the neckline as well, with the neckline being in this region, with the neckline being in this region. So what I would do actually at this point is, should price come down further from where it is right now, I would actually wait for it to break this particular neckline, and once it does so, I would look for selling opportunities, and my take profit would be this area right here, and then from this area I would look for further buying opportunities. As I said that if we can go back to the daily chart, that we have this huge structure over here, we have this huge head and shoulder structure over here, and ideally would love to see price going all the way to this level, which is the 1349.1 level, right? I hope that makes sense. So let me go back to the H1 chart. From here, I'm just going to add another channel. In this manner. Let's see, add a channel in this manner. I'm just going to make it a red color. There we go. And yeah, so I would love to see, as I said, price doing this. So this is the first leg of the M. Price came back to the neckline, then went up to create the extended second leg. Ideally, price should come here, break the neckline, come back to retest the neckline, and I would look for further selling opportunities in this region. And then I would love it to come to this level where I would take my profit, and then from this level I would look for buying opportunities so that I can ride the wave all the way to that zone that I spoke about. If I can just go back to the weekly chart, which is here, which is the 1346.6 area. So that's it, guys. And as far as platinum goes, at this point in time, I think it's probably best for one to actually play the waiting game. Just play the waiting game, wait for price to break below this area, and then come back to retest it. And that's when we can look for or that's when we can actually sell to around this area. And then from this area, we would look for a buying, or rather look for buying opportunities. Ideally, I would look for a W formation on the 15-minute chart, or the M30 chart, and I would ride the wave all the way to, if I can just go back to the daily chart, I would ride the wave all the way to this region over here. So that is it, guys. And as far as platinum goes, I hope my analysis makes sense. If you have any questions, please do let me know. And also, if you have any other charts that you would like me to have a look at, just let me know. Thanks, guys, for watching, and peace out.